Welcome to a Thursday, November, I'm gotta look at my cheat sheet, November 29th, and traditionally this would have been Thanksgiving, in any other kind of year, but Thanksgiving was last week, so we got that extra week to get us ready for the holidays, because I don't know about you, one of the things the holidays always brings to me is food and drink. And how do we combat the food and drink with staying fit so that we don't gain that extra, they'd say like 10 pounds? Anyway, we're going to talk all about that. I'm thrilled to be your host, Diane Gatsis Havinga, and I have two of our wonderful experts who are going to help us stay in shape and fit for the holidays. Of course, Juanita Kuntz from the Wellness Center.
Good morning.
And Helen Chung has joined us once again as our dietitian, and she brought all sorts of smart, I'm going to call them smart choices.
Oh, very
Helen.
good. Very nice.
Okay.
Good way to describe it.
And tips to help us navigate this holiday season, because one thing we don't want to do, Juanita, is gain any weight.
Well, and we don't want to lose our aerobic capacity, and we don't want to get weaker. So we want to eat right, and we want to continue to exercise. And I've got a 10-minute workout for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Like
Yes.
that. Okay. So we're going to actually start with Helen for a change, because Helen, you brought along some tips that I thought really was a great way to start the program. So why don't we start with the tips?
Okay, well, great. So like you said, the holiday time is all about the food. And so, we've all been there. We've been, after that post-holiday meal, we've been on the couch. We're feeling full and bloated and uncomfortable. We don't want to feel like that. So we talked about some tips that make the holiday meals not so heavy. Right? We don't want to make food our enemy, but we definitely need a little bit of dietary defense, right?
I like that.
So one of the tips that I have today is stock the fridge. And by stock the fridge, I'm talking about keeping some healthy items in the kitchen, in the pantry, in the fridge, things like vegetables, fruit, whole grains, beans. When you want to make sure that your meals are healthier, especially because we're going to be loading up on a lot of gingerbread cookies, pies, eggnog. So make sure you keep some of those items in your fridge, but also you're going to our dining rooms here. Try to choose healthier items. Although most of the items I think are pretty healthy in the dining room, but make sure you try to stick to some of the healthier items on the menu. Okay.
And should you skip a meal? Like if I know I'm going to that party later on tonight, I'll just start not eating, right? I don't need that breakfast.
I know. And I wouldn't say that's such a great idea. I wouldn't skip a meal, because what's going to happen? You're going to be starving, and you're going to get to that meal and find yourself just ravaging over everything on the table, right?
Right. And what else happens is your blood sugar gets low, so it wants that instant energy, which is the simple carbs, which are the sugars, the sodas, the drink. Those get into your bloodstream quickly and elevate your blood sugar level. So your body craves that energy, it needs it. So better choices, a little good snack will help you keep your blood sugar stable, so you're not apt to, run for the chips and the sodas and the mixed drinks and the desserts first.
Right.
Okay,
exactly.
So stock the refrigerator.
Right.
Okay, what else should we do?
So my next tip is have a food gift strategy. This time of year, we get tons of gifts. We get cookies, we get chocolates, we get bundt cakes, and no one says that we have to eat them all immediately, right? So why not, that's a good thing about baked goods. They freeze well. So we can pack them up individually, put them in the freezer. They're good for a couple months. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
There you go. And
enjoy them later.
You can put them in smaller packages, right? Instead of the 2 or 3, or you can bring them to work.
Share with friends. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
Okay.
So hydration. Hydration is good year-round, but even better now because we're going to have cocktails, we're going to parties. And sometimes the brain thinks that, we're hungry when in actuality we're actually thirsty. So make sure, before you go to start having that meal or going to that party, have water. Drink plenty of water, and even between your cocktails, have a drink of water in between, so that you're not finding yourself loading up on extra beverages like you were saying, Juanita. This time of year we find ourselves to be in a rush, in a hurry. We start having more coffee than we normally have. We start having more beverages, and that really just contributes to a lot of the holiday bloat.
Well, what if I drink decaf coffee? Is that okay, or is that still?
Well, it's a little bit better, but water's still the best friend. Yep.
And I find the sparkling waters seem to have a little bit of more like that kick, and sometimes, especially if you're at
sort
a
of
party,
treat.
Right.
And I do find that more and more people seem to be gravitating to the sparkling waters, and a little bit more of a natural flavor.
And I think you want to pick your carbs. So if you say, ooh, it's between this drinking my calories, or eating my calories, always go for the eating. I mean, just pick. Don't take both. If they're both high calorie, just think about, what do I really want? And if you take a bite of something and it's not as like, ooh, it's so good, you don't have to eat it all. Take a bite. If you don't like it, just put it down. If it's not as delicious as you thought, don't eat it. You don't have to eat it. It's okay.
Right.
I
You
think a
don't
lot of
have
us
to
say,
be
well,
part of the Clean Plate Club.
Yes, exactly. That we were as a child. Eat that. Someone in Africa is not starving, so you should eat that. And you're just going, but.
Okay.
All right.
That makes good common sense. So what else?
So the next one is be smart. You're going to pick, you're going to your holiday dinner and you pick about 3 or so items. But sometimes you go and the spread is unbelievable. You just can't say no to anything, right? So just be smart, pick smaller portions, pick some of the healthier items that are on the table. And that way, you're not filling up on all the fried foods or the heavy foods that may contribute to all those excess calories that we really don't need. And like we're talking about, don't skip a meal, because then what you find is that you're going to be munching. You're munching, and when you go to a party, they have appetizers. Do we all really need to have 5 ounces of cheese before we sit down to have our meal?
I really love cheese.
I guess not. So go for that raw vegetables that we're going to talk about momentarily.
Exactly. So I prepared today 2 recipes that don't require any baking or any cooking, and they're very quick and easy, and they're a good, healthy entree or side dish that you can bring to a party. All right, so you're going to help me, Juanita?
Sure.
All right. So
I'm just
first,
eat it.
Okay.
I brought a salad that you can bring to a party, and salad's a salad, right? But there are so many really neat vegetables and things that you can add to make it really boost it up. And just to interject before I start making the salad, and I'm sure most people know about it already, is the whole romaine lettuce outbreak at the E. coli.
Right.
So, pretty much everyone has pulled them off the shelves. So you shouldn't have to worry about going to a store and accidentally getting any, but still you want to be careful to avoid the romaine lettuce. So I used today some spinach, and I also shredded up some kale for the salad base. Okay. So I like to pick colorful fruits and vegetables, but you also want to just use, what you like, what your favorite vegetables are. The colorful fruits and vegetables are high in antioxidants, so very good, and they make it really pretty, right? So I bought something really interesting. When I was grocery shopping, I found these.
So tomatoes, no?
They look like tomatoes.
Right?
Oh, this is a trick.
Good question.
What could it be? They're gooseberries.
What are they? Is it a fruit?
It's a fruit,
Okay.
and I was offering them to my children. I said, my daughter, of course, asked, what does it taste like? And I said, well, the best way I could describe it was a cross between a tomato and a blueberry.
Oh, yum.
I know,
sounds
so
great.
you'll have to try these after we make our salad.
A gooseberry. They look just like a yellow
Tomato,
tomato.
right? Yeah, they're tangy, they're kind
Yeah.
of sweet, right?
Really
You
good.
almost think like you're biting into something hard, but then it softens.
Right,
That's great.
So I'll throw these in here. So I was originally going to use blueberries until I found these.
Oh, those
but
are
you
good.
know, I like the fruits because they give it a little bit of sweetness to it.
I like the fact that it's already
Pretty.
taken this green salad and put it together as a, giving it some nice color.
Yes.
All right, so
Yes.
what else are we adding to this?
So it's good old faithful carrots. So
Gotta love it.
right, you want to put those in
Sure.
there. And I've got also some yellow peppers. Give you
Okay.
some different twists, and those are also sweet. They
Yeah,
add
I
nice
love
color.
Yellow peppers, yellow and red.
Right.
Love them all.
I've got some diced tomatoes. This is another good old faithful.
Always.
Right. And then what I love is adding nuts and seeds.
Little
They're
protein.
Good, exactly. Good source of protein. They're good antioxidants. They have omega-3s. All good.
So does it matter if we do like the raw, now there's like anything else in the grocery store. God forbid we can just pick one bag of spinach, right? But in terms of nuts, now we have raw nuts, we have roasted nuts, we have
Unsalted,
unsalted,
salted.
Yep.
honey flavored,
Right, all kinds.
So and
Right.
so. Does it matter which one we choose?
It really doesn't matter. If you're really wanting to stay away from the salt, of course the unsalted nuts would be the best, and obviously the ones that don't have a glaze on them would keep the
Right.
sugar down. But it really is, you're also wanting to make it your own too. We're not going to be having a bowl of nuts in our salad. So, if it's just a sprinkling, I would say, just keep it in moderation. Right?
Everything in moderation,
Yes.
right? All right.
Now,
But look at this.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
I don't know which camera. Oh, there
Oh,
we go.
there we go.
Look at how pretty and festive
Yes.
just by adding those simple ingredients.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, so now I think, do we need a dressing?
So I didn't bring a dressing, but one of my tips about swapping out foods to make it healthier. There's always healthier ingredients that you can add. So rather than using a store-bought dressing that has a lot of like salt and sugar in it, you could make your own. You could take some balsamic vinegar and some olive oil, and that'll season it well. You could take some lemon juice and olive oil. You really don't need to have all that added sugar and salt from the dressings.
And I think the balsamic vinegar, that's when you want to splurge, because if you get a really, really high-end quality balsamic vinegar, you don't even need the olive oil.
Oh,
you can just,
so
you know,
right. And you
drip
don't
it
even
on.
have to use that much either. It's
Right.
really nice. It goes a long way.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right there with you. Well,
Okay.
great. Okay, and
Great.
then let's move on to
Yes.
the appetizer.
Yes. So this is another dish that you can bring. You can bring a vegetable platter, and I'm going to show you how you can make a really simple, easy dip that is like ranch dip, but is healthier and it's got a lot of protein. The base I use is a non-fat Greek yogurt, which is high in protein. It's low in fat, very tasty. And you can use this actually also as a swap for a lot of other things. Rather than sour cream, you can use that on top of your potatoes for a fruit dip, for a veggie dip. It's really very, useful.
Right.
Okay.
I put it on my chili, the non-fat.
So does
Greek,
my daughter.
Yep.
Greek yogurt.
Right. It's really good. So we're going to use that as a base. So I have that in a bowl. I have 1 cup of yogurt in here. And you really could, tweak the seasonings to make it your own also. But these, I try to pick ones that are pretty standard in most people's pantries. And so I've got some garlic powder. So we'll throw that in.
Or she has some
I've got cayenne pepper just to give it a little bit of flavor. You can add more if you really want to kick. Right? This is actually Italian blend, but you can use onion powder. You can use all different seasonings. It really just make it.
Basil, oregano.
Right. Use your favorite seasonings. This is dill weed. Yep. And let's see, a little bit of kosher salt. And you can this too adjust, or some people don't even need it at all. Right? I just put a little bit. And I've got a little bit of Worcester sauce. And just
I wouldn't
only
have
need
even
just a
thought
little
about
bit, just about a
that.
1/4 teaspoon. And that's it. You just mix it up. That took, what, I say less than a minute, right? Mix it up here.
So all these seasonings, is it about half a teaspoon or?
They're about
you-
a 1/4 to half a teaspoon.
Okay.
And I did have the recipe put on, and I can always send out copies if you're interested, or give me a call. I'll be happy to share my recipe.
Okay.
Or you can call us here. I also have it
Yeah.
on my computer.
Yeah.
So-
And I do too. If you're a fitness center member,
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
I'll tell you how it is.
So we'll,
And you can always get it with us too, because I have it on the computer
And you
too.
could you use this for the salad too if you wanted to?
you could. It would, you might, if you want to thin it out, you could probably add a little bit of lemon juice to it, just to make it thinner,
Okay.
and also give it a little tang. So
That's so pretty.
That's our dip. It's very
And
pretty,
it smells
and
really nice.
pick a
Does
lot
smell
of
good,
vegetables
doesn't
that you keep on hand. I mean, you've got them for your salad anyway, right?
Right.
So, do you want to try, ladies?
Yes,
love
I would.
to.
And then
Here,
we're
I'll hold
going to
for
talk.
you first.
Okay. And then we're going to talk about that 10-minute workout
Yeah.
because one of the tips I know Helen mentioned or hasn't mentioned yet is that don't be on the couch after you eat.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah. I like
Very
the dill.
Good.
The dill in it. Yeah. So why don't we want to sit on the couch after we eat?
So, after having that full meal and you feel really full and uncomfortable, you want to make sure that you're not
tired,
just
too.
going straight to the couch and laying down, And you don't have to do a full, complete workout even. No one's asking you to do an hour workout afterwards, but even if you're inside the house at someone's house, you can be a helpful guest. Go help do some dishes, clear the table even, or even go for a walk after dinner outside.
I see so many people when the weather's a little bit nicer than this, but even now, walking outside after dinner. So the walking is one of the best things you can do.
Right.
You're upright, gravity's helping, is working against you, so you work harder with that little walk. So it's great.
So tell us a little bit more about this 10-minute
Yeah, well,
workout.
with the holidays, we all have so much to do, and visitors coming, we have less time. So how can we be very efficient? Of course, the American College of Sports Medicine wants us all to get 150 minutes a week. So let's just say 30 minutes a day. So if we do that, you're going, I don't have 30 minutes. Well, there's a program called HIIT, High Intensity Training, and it is there's a 10-minute workout. One of our residents brought this to me, but we actually use it a lot. It's one of the most efficient and effective ways to get in better shape. So this happened to be in the AARP bulletin in November 2018. It was talking about, he's 101 years old. He set a world record as a cyclist, riding in an hour. Well, he wanted to get stronger, so what did he do? He did a HIIT training. And even though a lot of us here at Green Spring are on medicine that keeps our blood, our pulse rate and blood pressure in a certain range, you could still do this by estimating your perceived exertion, like how hard do you think you're training. So if you can walk and talk with a friend on walking outside or in the halls, you're at a low level. So in a 10-minute workout, this is just an example here in the AARP bulletin, take the first 3 minutes to warm up. So warm up, and then you're going to go as fast as you can go for 20 seconds, either on the bicycle in the fitness center, walking. Some people still run, but most of us don't. But you're going to go as hard as you can for 20 seconds. Then you're going to recover, go back to where you can talk, and then you're going to go 20 more seconds as hard as you can and not talk. So you're going to do that and rest in between. It says in the article to rest for 1 to 2 minutes in between all-out exertion for 20 seconds. So you
Now,
could do.
are we talking, when you say rest, are you talking
Oh, no,
nothing?
walking. Oh, no. You
but
walk
you're
it.
still moving, but
you
you're
keep
not,
moving, but you just bring your heart rate back down.
Okay.
So you go back to where you feel comfortable, which for most of us is between 120. Well, I'm not even going to go beats per minute, but when you can talk. When you
Okay.
do the talk test and you can talk in a full sentence, you're at a low level again, and then you go all out again for 20 seconds, and then you're going to bring your heart rate back to normal, you're going to be able to talk again, and then you're going to go again another 20 seconds. So you can do that in 10 minutes and then cool down that last 2 minutes and make sure you stretch. For if you're in pretty good shape, like a lot of the fitness center members are now, then I think this is great for you. Mm-hmm. If you're just not in that kind of shape, I would extend that, because like Kenneth Cooper, the father of aerobics, says most of us need about a 10-minute warm-up. And we found that in the fitness center, people that come in and go, I really don't feel like being here, but after 10 minutes, they feel much better. Mm-hmm. Now that means all your joints are warmed up. Yep. The blood is all over here to the working muscles. Now, even if you're on the new step, increase the load, push as hard as you can with the arms and the legs, and watch your time there for 20, 30 seconds. 20 seconds isn't like magic. Mm-hmm. You can extend that period of time, and you just work as hard as you can, and then when you're going, oh, this is hard enough, then you recover. Go back to a slower rate, watch your timer there, and go for about a minute, recovering, and then go as hard as you can again for maybe 30 seconds, and then recover again for another minute. And you can do that on the treadmill. So I've had a friend come in there, one of the residents on the younger side, that said, you know what, I'm so tired of just walking for 30 minutes. What can I do? So I just got next to her and we did this together. Within 5 minutes, she was going, wow, I feel this. Mm-hmm. And you do feel that. Mm-hmm. You just need to increase the intensity of your workout. So that's high intensity training. So
I like it.
10 minutes. You could do it in 10 minutes. You can extend it to 20 or 30.
Do that when you wake up in the morning and you have a party later on in the
evening.
Absolutely. That type of thing. And then keep drinking throughout the day.
Exactly.
And munch on healthy things before you go to that big dinner or party or wherever else you're going.
Walk as much as you can.
Yep.
Walk as much as you can during the day.
Okay, did we hit everything on our
I think we did.
Tips list?
I think you did a great job on those tip lists.
You too.
Okay, so is there anything else nutritious-wise, like if, I think the holidays are the time of the year that we go to the, our parents, our grandparents, our great-parents' recipes. Is there, and those recipes tend to be, I think, more heavily loaded with fats and salts and stuff. So is there any kind of tweaking we could do?
You can. There are a lot of healthy ingredients that you can swap them out with, or even actually cutting them down. A lot of these recipes call for a lot of butter, a lot of salt, a lot of bacon, and it can still be good with half the amount. It's still delicious, and it's still really keeping that recipe to what its original ingredients are. So, some of the things that we mentioned today, like using the yogurt instead of sour cream. You can also use yogurt in place of butter or oil. It's another good substitution. Using other seasonings instead of the salt, so garlic powder and onion powder and pepper. Those are good ways to reduce the salt. Things that call for a lot of sugar, that too. You can cut down the sugar, or you can also use a little bit of sugar substitute or a little bit of honey, because honey can go a long way in flavoring something without using that full amount of sugar.
Well, and someone just brought me a little piece of her banana bread, homemade banana bread, or pumpkin bread, and she used, instead of all white flour, she did half and half. Half whole wheat, half white.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you can, and the whole wheat kind of has a nutty taste to it, which is good.
Yes.
So, there are some things that you can do.
Definitely.
And I remember Cindy Underwood, when she was here and helping us, she would use prunes.
Right.
I was just going to say that too, but I don't
to
remember
swap-
what she used. She was just sugar, right? In
Right,
place
to
of
swap,
sugar?
to swap out, no, I think it was oil instead of
Right,
the oil.
right. You can
Okay.
use pureed prunes to swap out the oil.
Okay.
And
Wasn't
they're
sure.
hard to find because I do keep some on hand, and I use them like in the banana breads that I make. But
Somebody said brownies were really good with that too.
so yeah, something like
Right.
like any of your I know breads,
Your baked
your
goods.
baked
Yep.
goods and,
Yep.
and whatnot.
Exactly.
And so I just go to the baby food aisle. That's the
Oh,
only
what a
place
great
I can
idea.
see
Oh, really?
and get the puree prunes.
Oh.
I never thought of that.
Oh, that's
You're
that's a
so
very,
smart.
That's
No
a very
wonder
good-
you're the head of
That's an
Channel
easy way.
6.
One less step of having to puree those prunes.
There you go. No, I wouldn't do that. So, believe it or not, I think we got everyone fit for the holidays. Any last minute, one last thing, Helen, that you want to leave us with?
I would say enjoy your time with your family. It's, you know,
Precious.
You don't want it to be stressful, so take good care of yourself.
I agree. I would have to agree with that too. I feel like we get so stressed out about the house looking good and the food being perfect. And hey, you know what? The most important thing is you're together.
Right.
You know, and do that sort of thing together. Ask for
Exactly.
help. You don't have to do it all. Ask for help and just enjoy each other, because that's the most important thing.
And don't forget, if you don't want to cook, just take them to the dining room.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
They'll have a lot of fun things to do and healthy choices besides the decadent choices.
Right.
Right?